Everyone wanted to date her in the 70s. This is her today. Stunning stars from the 70s, then and now. The 70s was an iconic decade for movies. Many of the most popular films were released during this time, and some of the most well-known actors and actresses got their start in the 70s. Today we're going to take a look at some of these stars and see how they've changed over the years. Raquel Welch. It's been over 50 years since Raquel Welch first burst onto the Hollywood scene, but she hasn't aged a day since then. In fact, she looks better now than she did in her 20s. Welch rose to prominence in the 1970s thanks to her roles in classics like The Three Musketeers and The Four Musketeers. She quickly became one of the most popular actresses of her generation, and her iconic sex symbol status has only grown in the intervening years. These days, Welch is still working steadily in Hollywood, appearing in films and television shows on a regular basis. She shows no signs of slowing down. As proof that age is nothing but a number, Raquel Welch remains one of the most beautiful women in Hollywood, then and now. Candice Bergen. Candice Bergen was one of the most popular actresses of the 1970s. She starred in such hits as Murphy Brown and The Seduction of Joe Tynan. Today, Bergen is still acting and is just as popular as she was back in the day. In recent years, she starred in the hit TV show Boston Legal and the film Bride Wars. It's amazing to see how much Bergen has changed over the years. But one thing that hasn't changed is her talent for acting. She's still one of the most beloved actresses of our time. Jane Seymour. Jane Seymour is best known for her role as Solitaire in the James Bond film Live and Let Die. She went on to star in several other films throughout the 1970s, including The Omen and Battlestar Galactica. In recent years, Seymour has had guest roles on several popular television shows, including Bones and Hawaii Five-0. She's also appeared in a number of made-for-TV movies. While her career has been largely focused on acting, Seymour has also done some modeling work. In 2008, she was named the face of Avon's Here to Life campaign. And in 2010, she became the spokesperson for Reebok's Easy Tone line of footwear. At 63 years old, Jane Seymour is still a beautiful and successful woman. It's clear that she's aged gracefully and is still very much in demand in Hollywood. Goldie Hawn. Goldie Hawn was one of the most popular actresses of the 1970s. She starred in a string of hit movies including The Sugarland Express, Private Benjamin, and Overboard. Hawn was also a successful television star, appearing on shows like Rowan and Martin's Laugh-In and The Sonny and Cher Comedy Hour. In recent years, Hawn has taken on a more limited role in Hollywood, appearing only in a handful of films. However, she remains an active philanthropist and advocate for children's causes. In 2017, Hawn was honored with the Life Achievement Award from the American Film Institute. Looking back at her career, it's clear that Hawn is a Hollywood legend who has left a lasting mark on the industry. The foxy Pam Grier. Pam Grier was one of the biggest stars of the 1970s thanks to her string of iconic roles in blaxploitation films like Coffee and Foxy Brown. These days, Grier is still working steadily in Hollywood, with recent credits on shows like The L Word and Bones. Although she's no longer the box office draw she once was, Grier remains an influential figure in the film world, and her career continues to inspire both new generations of actors and directors. Pam Grier is truly an icon of both then and now. Cher. Cher was one of the most iconic musicians of the 1970s. She was known for her unique style and powerful voice. Today, Cher is still a force to be reckoned with. At 72 years old, she's still touring and making new music. In fact, she just released a new album in 2019. Cher has definitely aged gracefully. She is an inspiration to many people who appreciate her talent and resilience. It's clear that Cher is still a star, even after all these years. Bo Derek. Bo Derek became a household name in the late 1970s thanks to her starring role in the film 10. The movie was a surprise hit, and Derek's beauty and screen presence made her an overnight sensation. In the intervening years, Derek has continued to work steadily in both film and television. She's also been married to actor John Corbett for over 15 years. While her output has slowed down in recent years, Derek remains a popular figure in Hollywood. In many ways, she's managed to stay relevant by remaining true to herself. Whether she's starring in a comedy or drama, Derek always brings a sense of grace and charm to her roles. As she enters her 60s, she shows no signs of slowing down. It's clear that Hollywood will continue to benefit from her talent for years to come. Erin Gray. Erin Erin Gray was born in 1950 in Honolulu, Hawaii. Her father was a career military man, and her family moved around frequently during her childhood. When she was 16, her family settled in Los Angeles, and it was there that she began her acting career. Her first role was in the television series Gunsmoke, but she's best known for her work on the science fiction series Buck Rogers in the 25th Century. She starred in the show for 2 years, from 1979 to 1981. Since then, Erin Gray has appeared in a number of film and television roles. She starred in the short-lived series Silver Spoons alongside Rick Schroeder, and she had a recurring role on the soap opera General Hospital. More recently, she's guest starred on shows like Castle and Hot in Cleveland. In 2015, she appeared on stage in the play Love Letters alongside Tony Danza. Now in her mid-60s, Erin Gray is still active in Hollywood. She continues to work regularly, both in front of and behind the camera. And while she may be best known for her work on television, she's also carved out a successful career as a voice actress. In recent years, she's lent her talents to animated shows like Batman, The Brave and the Bold, and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. She currently lives in Los Angeles with her husband of over 30 years. Stevie Nicks. Stevie Nicks is one of the most iconic figures in rock music, and she still commands a huge following, even 40 years after she first burst onto the scene. What is it about her that made her so timeless? Part of it surely has to do with her unique vocal style, which can be both ethereal and earthy. But her songwriting is also a big part of her appeal. Her lyrics often deal with themes of love, loss, and hope, which resonate with listeners of all ages. And then there's her stage presence, which is at once magnetic and mysterious. No matter what the reason, there's no doubt that Stevie Nicks is an enduring legend. Jacqueline Smith. Jacqueline Smith was one of the most popular actresses of the 1970s. She starred in hit shows like Charlie's Angels and The Love Boat, and was a fashion icon. Today, Smith is still a popular figure in the entertainment industry. She's appeared in numerous TV shows and movies, and her clothing line is available at major retailers across the country. Smith has also been active in philanthropy, working with organizations like the Make-A-Wish Foundation. At 71 years old, she's an inspiration to women of all ages. Sweet Sally. It's been almost 50 years since Sweet Sally first appeared on TV screens across America. Then she was a fresh-faced young woman, full of energy and eager to take on the world. Today, Sally's a grandmother, but she hasn't lost her sense of adventure. In fact, she's still doing all the things she loves, from hiking and biking to traveling and dancing, and she's proof that you're never too old to follow your dreams. Sally's always been an inspiration to her family and friends, and she continues to be an example of what's possible if you stay active and keep reaching your goals. She's living proof that it's never too late to pursue your passions. Thank you, Sally, for showing us that age is just a number. Dolly Parton. Dolly Parton is an American icon who's been entertaining audiences for over 5 decades. She first came to prominence in the 1970s with a series of chart-topping country hits, including Jolene and I Will Always Love You. Since then, she's maintained her popularity with a string of successful albums and movies, most notably the 1980 film 9 to 5. In recent years, Parton has reinvented herself as a children's entertainer with her popular TV show, Dolly Parton's Heartstrings. Despite her many career changes, one thing has remained constant: Parton's ability to entertain and engage audiences of all ages. With her unique blend of humor and heart, she continues to be one of the most beloved performers in the world. Diane Keaton. Diane Keaton was one of the most popular actresses of the 1970s. She starred in a string of hit films, including The Godfather, Annie Hall, and Manhattan. These days, Keaton is still acting, but she's also become a successful director and producer. In recent years, she's appeared in a number of hit films, including Something's Gotta Give and Morning Glory. At the age of 71, Keaton is still a major force in Hollywood. Barbie Benton. Barbie Benton was one of the most popular models and actresses of the 1970s. She appeared on the cover of Playboy magazine several times and starred in a number of films and television shows. Benton is also well known for her relationship with Hugh Hefner, the founder of Playboy. These days, Benton is 64 years old and living in Reno, Nevada. She's been married to George Gradow since 1985, and the pair have 2 children together. Although she doesn't appear in the public eye as much as she did in her heyday, Benton is still a successful businesswoman. She has a number of properties in Reno, including a successful real estate company. Benton is also an active philanthropist and has donated millions of dollars to charitable causes over the years. Sybil Shepard. Sybil Shepard was one of the most popular actresses of the 1970s. She starred in hit films like The Last Picture Show and Taxi Driver, and she was also a successful model. Since then, Shepard's continued to act, appearing in movies and television shows like Moonlighting and Sybil. She's also ventured into directing, helming episodes of Lifetime's The Client List. At 71, Shepard is still as beautiful and talented as ever, and with a new book out, There's Still a Mouse in My House, it seems that her best days are still ahead of her. Jackie Stallone. In the 1970s, she was known primarily as the mother of Sylvester Stallone and the wife of former heavyweight boxing champion Chuck Wepner. Stallone, today at the age of 90, is best known for her appearances on reality television shows such as Celebrity Big Brother and Family Feud. She's always been a bit of a character, and her willingness to speak her mind has won her a large and loyal following. Whether you love her or hate her, Jackie Stallone is definitely one of a kind. The 70s was a golden age for Hollywood. Some of the most well-known actors and actresses got their start during this time, and many iconic films were released. Today, we took a look at some of these stars and saw how they've changed over the years. While some have retired, others are still going strong. Either way, they all remain as stunning as ever.